So, hi everyone. Welcome to the Sunday night talk. Before I start, I have a talk coming up in Manchester on the 7th of May. She says, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is now. I'm also nearly finished the Kindle version. Hasn't been easy. I just don't know what I'm doing. So that should be out soon. That'll go on my website. If you want to have a one-to-one talk with me, you can message me or email me about that. And if you wish to donate, you can do that also through my website. So, what are we here for? Why do we come to these talks? There's a belief that there's something called freedom or enlightenment. There's a belief that that is true. And that it can be somehow found or got closer to. What is totally missed is that what is it. What is it. And it can't be found because it's already the case. This one that thinks it can find it, thinks it can get closer to it. Oh, there's something happening. There's a relaxing happening. There's some sort of weird experience happening. There's something happening. But it's nothing is getting closer to it. It's illusory. It's illusory. This idea that I'm getting close to it or further away from it. This illusory idea that I am someone. That's what it is. It's illusory. It isn't real that there's this one who can find fulfillment in anything. Only temporarily. And then it tries to hold on to it, whatever that is. It tries to hold on to the relaxing or the experience. It's a psychosomatic reality that we call the seeker. We call me. And it's even looking for this, which is the biggest irony of all. I'm looking for this. This is it. It's so ludicrously simple that I wish I could express the simplicity of what is, of the freedom. What is the freedom. What is whole. Hi, Karen P. No, I don't do call-ins. I just answer questions here. I haven't really found that that's worked for me. Sorry. And I'm not set up. Even if I wanted to right now, I'm not really set up. Yes, I'm just going to do an introduction, then ask away. Yes, of course. So we sit here in these talks waiting to somehow get a grasp of it, or suddenly to get that aha moment. But it's always this one that's grasping at something to be got, that wants to get it. It's always that wants to get it. And that is illusory, this one. What seems to happen is that one just disappears and nothing is got for anybody. It's just what is just, it just is. It just is. It's just so obvious that what I was looking for wasn't real. It was never real. This looking for something isn't real, because there's no answer to it. It's always in the next moment. This looking, this one that looks for it, wants to find something that will make it feel better. It will be the ultimate security. But ironically, that whole idea of security just completely falls away. There's no security. There's nothing that's now everlasting. There's no everlasting peace. There's no everlasting, there's certainly not bliss. This idea of bliss, this spiritual idea of constant relaxation and bliss, it's way more profound than that. Serious beeping going on out there. Because the illusory sense of self lives in time, so what is never good enough for it, because it's expecting an experience. It's expecting some sort of enlightening moment or something. But that's the end of all that. When that sense of self is just seen for what it is, it's seeing that all of that seeking and looking and concepts and beliefs and ideas that I'm going to get something just totally falls away, and nothing is got. It's already got. It's already freedom. It is actually utterly miraculous. This constant thisness, this constant appearance, is actually miraculous in itself. And this appearance of the sense of a self looking is actually it as well, but never seen. That can't be seen from the perspective of that separate self. It's just obvious when it's not there anymore that it was just as much a part of the appearance as anything else. I brought my huge cups to Spain. Thought I might not get them here. Okay, so yeah, so you can ask questions in the chat. And there is a question here from Karen. Can you please explain about free will? I understand that there is no free will and no one that decides. But what about the law of attraction then? Can you get what you focus on? Then there is a decision. Law of attraction. Can you get what you focus on? Well, in my experience, not always. Sometimes that can happen, sometimes it doesn't happen. It can appear to happen. What I'm talking about here is the illusory sense of self, thinking that it's doing it. It's not doing actually anything. So in that sense, there is no free will for that sense of I am. There's no will, there's no free will for that. Things just appear to happen. The sense of self, it claims everything that seems to happen. There is a decision made and it thinks that I made the decision. No, the decision is just made. Or the human daydreams of, oh, I don't know, a holiday, and then the holiday seems to happen. But nobody did that. That's just the way the appearance is. That's just the way that life is. But equally, it can be said that the holiday can just suddenly happen without anyone making a decision or without anybody daydreaming. Whatever happens just appears to happen. Law of attraction. I don't really know about law of attraction. Basically, it's just what's happening. What is what is happening. Thinking about the future is thinking about the future, but the future isn't actually there. It's just thinking about it happening. Can you get what you focus on? It's possible. It's possible, but not always. Life is just happening. Life is just happening, and this one that seems to be happening in it, called me, it's just happening too. Looking for a way out of it. Is what's happening based on what's programmed in you, ego energy? I don't think so. There might be some programming in the human, cultural, society, parents, what we seem to be born with, certain preferences or not. That's just what happens. Ego energy. I would call ego energy the sense of self. That's got nothing to do with conditioning. That's a kind of it has all sorts of psychological neuroses attached to it, which when the sense of self is not there, tend to go away. Like seeking goes away. There's nothing to seek for, because everything there is this. Everything that is this. There's nothing to actually seek for anymore. What is happening has nothing to do with this construct of me. The birds singing, the air, the stars, the way the human is, the way it looks. It's got nothing to do with the sense of self. That's just the way life appears. It's actually amazing the way it appears. It's unfathomable. How about making a career? Well, careers can be made, but they're made on their own. The one that thinks it's making it is the one that's not actually doing anything at all. It's just the claiming, worrying, seeking, pain in the ass called the self. The career has nothing to do with the sense of self. Careers are just careers, you know. Someone goes to college and they get a career in something. That just happens on its own. It's hard for the sense of self to see that everything is just bang, just happening miraculously. It's always trying to work it out. Someone wrote to me the other day and they said, you must feel really lucky to have no self. Well, you know, there is no self. So you can't pursue. Careers are just pursued. I mean, if I sat here now, you know, like you know, if there was a self that wanted a career, go, I want to be a airline pilot. I really want to be an airline pilot. Doesn't matter how much that idea is there, it doesn't actually make it happen. That's where there is a lack of free will. There's nothing wrong in pursuing careers. That's just, you know, that's what the human does or doesn't do. Hi, Joe. Yeah, of course, you know, of course you can pursue a career. So just like you can decide to make curry for dinner. It's not the seeker, it's not that one that's making that decision. It's just the idea pops in the head, curry. And the body goes and makes it or doesn't make it. You know? It's so simple. There's a simplicity of life just appearing, and in that there is the sense of I'm doing it, or I'm not doing it, I'm failing, I'm succeeding. Then you don't have to try to get anything. No. No, you don't. No. It'll just be got or not. Joe, there's nothing to figure out. It's already figured out. Yeah, it's already the case. This is it. This is it. Try and find anything that isn't this. Try and find anything that is something else. It's impossible. It's the case. It's amazing. Rick, the ego is of course not in control, but thoughts and beliefs do influence action. Is this maybe one source of the confusion? Yeah, I think so. They seem to. They seem to. But there's not anybody doing it. Hey, Raphael. Karen, I'm about to lose my job. And then I don't have to look for another one. Well, you know, you could look for another one or not. This has got nothing to do with what happens. This is to do with that sense of I am separate and I have to do something to feel complete, which overlooks the reality that everything already is complete. There isn't anybody to decide to have another job or not have another job. That will either happen or it won't happen. It's not me that goes and looks for a job. The body gets up, the body turns on the computer. It looks for a job, it applies or it doesn't apply. Yeah, thoughts and beliefs do influence action. Yeah, they can. They can, for sure. Like everything seems to influence something else. But there isn't anybody in that. That is the confusion. Thoughts are great. I'm not telling anybody to look or not look for a job. I mean, I don't know about anyone's individual life, and I don't look for a job and can feel bad about it. Yeah, but that's the one that feels it has to do something. It feels bad because it's not looking for a job. As if it's its choice not to look for a job. It wasn't anyone's choice to not look for a job. Not looking for a job seemed to happen. Then this sense of me think, oh God, I'm not looking for a job, I feel bad. As if it had anything to do with it, as if I'm not looking for a job. Not looking for a job just seems to happen. You know, like here, you know, I've moved to Spain with no job. Been no movement to look for a job. That's just what seems to happen. But then again, you know, one day I might walk out the door and look for a job. Maybe. Yeah, always best to relax. Just relax. If you need to get a job, you'll just probably just go and look for a job. Or not, you know. That sense of self can't look for a job or not look for a job. It's just a claimer. It's a kind of like a psychological claiming entity. Yeah, it's a story. It's a story that I must look for a job. Then it has the story, I'm not looking for a job, therefore I'm this and I'm that, and I'm judging, and the guilt, and all these things. That the whole storifying of me and my life, this entity's life, is just complete. It literally, that's all it is. It's just a story. It's not actually helping or not helping. It's not actually doing anything at all. It just all seems to be happening as an energetic reality, but it actually has no influence at all. Does the universe or source have an agenda for what's happening? I have no idea. There doesn't seem to be any, I can only speak from here, any time to have an agenda in. It's like, it's like, that word's for it, eternally present or eternally this. It's, I can't see any need for an agenda or any possibility. No, I can't find that at all. What would the agenda be? Can't even imagine if the what. It's already everything. It's already it. It's already finished. This is it. This is the outcome. This is it. It's amazing. Hey, Lisa. No source. No. This is the source and the end and the beginning and everything. There's nothing separate. Nothing separate. It's too free. It would mean if there was a source, it would mean there'd be something separate to be a source, to be separate. Yeah, it's already got, says Joe. Nothing can be separate. Hey, Will, and my giant cup. It's this idea of source is like the idea of God, isn't it? As being some sort of separate entity who's overseeing the whole show and has some sort of agenda, I guess. Where is it? Where is anything? This is it. I missed the one from Karen. The agenda could be to be liberated. It's already liberated. What is already liberated. Nobody becomes liberated. It's already there. It's already it. It's done. Here it is. It's done. It's all free. It's already free. Doesn't need to be liberated. What could be liberated? Well, I mean, it's just an idea that the human self thinks, if I'm liberated, then God becomes liberated. God. But we don't have the shift yet. The shift for who? It's all... yeah, it's this idea that all the humans will wake up and then there'll be some sort of cosmic shift. The shift of seeing like the way you do. All that happens is that there's no longer anything that needs to have a shift. That goes away. Either in physical life or apparently physical death. But I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. What is already free, appearing as not free, but not for any reason. Like it doesn't have any reason why there is anything at all. There's no reason for any of it. Not ultimately as some sort of cosmic awakening or anything like that. It's already cosmically awakened. And that's what's obvious. It's just that it's already free. It's already everything. Nobody needs to be free. There isn't anybody to be free. This sense of the one that is waiting for a shift or looking for a shift doesn't become free. It either goes or it doesn't. It's already free, but you just can't see it from that perspective. There is no shift. I mean, I think when we talk about shift, we're talking about everybody being nice to each other. Some sort of utopia where everyone's nice to each other. Well, there are lots of people who seem to have me's in them who are very nice to each other. So it makes no difference, you know, it's like having a sense of self has nothing to do with being nice or not nice. It just is as it is. Amazing. Just beyond description that there is this appearance. And even speaking of it, there's no reason to speak of it. Speaking of it happens. The expression of it happens. We're looking for the meaning of life. The meaning of life. I need to know the meaning of life. I need to be free so I can know the meaning of life. Well, nobody knows the meaning of life. There doesn't seem to be a meaning. There is just life. I don't mean just life in bodies that move. Life in everything. Computers, desks, everything. Water, bodies, the earth, everything. It's all life, all of it. It's all alive, all of it. It's the end of seeing anything. That's the miracle. That's the miracle. The end of seeing anything. How can we live in the duality? How can we who live in the duality get to live in non-duality like you do? Well, you don't. The sense of self does not get to live. It doesn't even live. It's an appearance. It doesn't get to live in non-duality. It already is non-duality. It already is non-dual. It's already just what is. That sense of self doesn't get to live in that. The sense of self is a misconception. Joe says, instead of knowing what it is, know what it's not. Rick, we are believing in a false identity, and even after seeing how the ego tricks works, we continue to buy into the sham. Maybe we just need to relax and wait a while. The sense of self is such a complete illusion that it can't see outside itself. And it can't even if it waits, it's it waiting. It's such a total illusion. I sometimes say it's a cracks in it. Looking from that perspective, there's no cracks. It just, as you say, it continues, it buys into the sham. But what when that whole sham collapses, it's not it that sees it. It's not it that knows it. Knowing can just seem to happen. But I mean, knowing is not the point, though. It's not something here that's a knower. It's not like that. But it's very obvious that that whole trick and sham that was bought into here is indeed a sham. And that sham just fell apart. This sense of I'm looking, I'm seeking, that just fell apart. But it itself can't do it. It can't do it in its little world. It could just, there's just a possibility that it's just somehow it's revealed or something. There's nothing wrong with relaxing. And there's nothing wrong with having a sense of self. That is just as much part of life as anything else. But it can't help but look for a way out of it. It can't help it. especially in non-duality and in certain spiritual kind of paths. I guess this is not a path, by the way. No teaching here, but it can't help it. It's like it has its own motor, has its own engine, the engine of seeking. It thinks if I relax, if I wait, if I don't do anything, if I do something, if I just, it's always looking, it's always doing in one way or another. Unless it's not there. Sometimes it's not there during the day. You know, it goes quiet. And it's clever enough to even know its own trick. Karen, it feels like I can choose being instead of seeing through ego. Do you know what I mean? I can choose being. I mean, I don't know what you mean. I can choose being. No, I don't know what you mean by being. I mean, from here, there only is what is. There is no being in that. I believe that the more I choose being instead of ego, the more the ego fades away. To me, I choosing and the ego are the same thing. I mean, the person become more relaxed. The sense of self can become more relaxed, and it can be less neurotic, or it can be less. I mean, to me, what I feel like you're saying is the more I choose peace, maybe, or but it's still the same one. And I found in my experience when I believed I was choosing what I thought was, I don't know, all the different paths that I did, you know, I kind of had a little dip my toe in the awareness thing and not thinking and all these different things. They never lasted. But there's nothing wrong with being more relaxed, being more at peace. Why not? Better than being not at peace. Rick, the ego is caught in its own trap. Yes, it is. It seems like we just need to walk away from the whole thing. There's no hope for Mr. Ego. Yeah, well, it's not me that walks away from the whole thing, because me and the ego and the walking away is all the same thing. But there is a possibility that there's just like, I mean, what seemed to happen here? I don't know if this is helpful. There's nothing helpful, actually. I'm going to say it anyway. What seemed to happen was there was like an intellectual understanding, and somehow there was a sort of kind of falling away. There was something changing. Reality was like not what it was. I can't even really describe it. And every time, you know, I listened to Tony, or I listened to Lisa, or, you know, one of the speakers, the more it seemed to, and it wasn't, because nothing was actually happening. I'm making it sound like it's a path, and it's not. But what seemed to be happening was, what was happening with the sort of sense of reality not being what it was. It was like making it clearer what was happening. It was like deconstructing, somehow deconstructing. So that can sometimes happen, and I see it happening more and more, actually. It's not a promise, by the way. Because life is just what it is. Life is just what it is, you know. But I cannot walk away from my own self. It's the same thing. The self and me walking away are actually the same thing. It's still the story of me. The story of me doing this, the story of me doing that. And it's just all happening in its own reality, in its own trap. And that's one of its traps. One of its traps is to think it can walk away from itself. It's not actually going anywhere. How did it happen to you? I want to qualify that and say nothing happened. But I know what you mean. It just happened. It just happened. The whole sense of this life being in time and space and having me in it just seemed to just start to fall apart. It literally just fell apart. Like a building crumbling. Bricks falling off and paint falling off and just falling to pieces. The life of Lisa was a mess. For a while. Hi, Kim. Hi, Lisa, you look sun-kissed. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't actually even sit in the sun. I kind of avoid it. Maybe 10 minutes a day. I just go brown very, very easily. I've got that Mediterranean skin type. It feels like the more you listen to non-duality, the more you realize it all. Something becomes obvious, yeah. Something becomes obvious, but it's not becoming obvious to that self. It's just obvious. And I want to stress that. When something is obvious, it's just obvious. The sense of self, of course, will say, it's obvious to me. I'm realizing it. I'm getting closer. It even has hope. It has hope. There is no hope for it. There's no hope for the sense of self at all. In anything. But it can become clear. It can become clear intellectually even. And it can become clear energetically. I miss you at Tony's, says Kim. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wish I could go and see Tony. Pretty obvious, says Joe. Yeah, but the actual falling apart of the construct is kind of more energetic and psychological, and that's not intellectual, but that can happen. Yeah. So it doesn't get anything. What is left when that construct is deconstructed, not by anything, just happens? There's nothing left. There's just everything left. Karen, did you listen a lot to non-dual talks, or was that your path? No, the whole sort of something changing happened before I came across non-duality, actually. Yeah. The whole life of Lisa just started falling to pieces. And then there was a looking for something, what's going on? And I came across, yeah, well, I came across Muji first, but I would not call that non-duality. And then Muji led me on to a guy called Ananta, and then started listening to Lisa Cairns and Tony Parsons, and listened to Rupert Spira for a while, but I wasn't kind of really doing it. And I wouldn't say it was a path, it was just what happened. Just what happened. All that's happening, all that is just what's happening. It's not actually happening to anyone. All that stuff didn't happen to anybody. It's just a story. It's just a story. Seemed to happen. Apparently happened. But it wasn't. It didn't take anyone from here to here. It's not like that. Ananta Kranti. No. Ananta Garg. I was with him for a while. Just sometimes. Just dips in and out. Yeah, well, I have a big fondness for Lisa. However she talks, I have a big fondness for Lisa. Doesn't matter anyway if someone talks non-duality or not. It doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's not about anything, actually. It's just this. Just this. Well, sometimes, yeah. Yeah. What? The freedom is not in non-duality. It's not in that. It's not in anything. The freedom is what is. This is the freedom. It's not in paths. It's not in practice. It's not in words. It's not in people. People aren't free. Everything's free. It's all free. It's not in the words. Joe, don't try to figure it out, lol. You can't figure it out. This one that trying to figure it out is the illusory self. Well, it can be confusing and is for many. Yeah, it can be. Can be. Yeah. 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 I mean, I don't tell people what to do or not do. Just don't have that kind of character. Because there's no answers. I don't have any answers. There's nothing to give here. There's nothing true here. There's only what is. That is it. Everything that is being looked for is already it. What is looking for it is it too. There's no answer. There's no answer. There's no solution. That's the miracle. It's just this. It's just what's happening. It's just what's appearing. There's no words for it. Nothing can describe it. Nothing can get hold of it. Nothing can know it. It's beyond knowing, grasping. It's utterly illogical, unbound, wild. And it's everything. There's nothing excluded in what is, which is the freedom. Nothing. You know, the sense of self says, oh, but I get moods and I have moods and I have this and I get angry, this and that. And it judges it as not being free, whilst completely overlooking that it is freedom. It is all freedom. Experienced as not being free. It's experienced as not being free, but it is freedom, experiencing not being free. This is why, you know, the word non-duality is used. The answer is not in. Non-dualities seem to be turned into something which is some kind of like teaching or some sort of something, but the word itself says it all. Non-dual, nothing separate, not separate. So in non-separation, everything is included in that. Behavior. Everything. Joe, the question's already answered. This is the answer. This is it. This is the answer. And you can't get hold of it because it seems to be nothing is just, there's nothing solid. So the sense of self is looking for something solid, something you can get hold of, a sense of permanence, or a sense of knowing impermanence, or something. It's beyond all that. And the sense of self goes, yeah, I know that. You see, and that is everything that is expressing itself as that. Expressing itself as hands, light, words, people writing words, humans speaking words, making sounds. It's just life, freedom, expressing, just expressing, for no reason, no outcome. This is not to free anybody, because no one can become free, because it's already free. Rick, everything is perfect just as it is. And there's also an idiot narrating constantly in the head. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, but that is also it, even though it's a shitty it. Yeah. But it's not anybody doing that. There is nobody. There isn't anybody. It's just a sense of attachment to the narrative. Idiot narrating constantly in the head. Yeah, that's how everybody feels. And then when there's no sense of self, then narration can still happen. But that it doesn't matter anymore. It's just narration happening. It's no different from birds chirping. It's not even noticed. The sense of self notices it and claims it as being an idiot. The narration is not the problem. As usual, tonight has gone really quick. Perfect, says Joe. Yeah. Ironically, idiot narrating constantly in the head is life happening as that. It is life, that is life being that. This appearance is the perfect giver. Gives everything unconditionally. And it has to be unconditional because it can't be any other way. It can't be anything but unconditional. Kills everything. Gives everything. It's utterly perfect. There just seems to be this sense of it's not perfect. I'm looking for perfection. I'm looking for perfection. It must be there. I know it's there. I know it. I know it. And yes, there is a knowing that there is perfection. But it's mistaken that there's a perfection somewhere else. Hey V, probably an impossible question. Don't know if you've experienced clinical depression, Lisa, but do you think one can fall into clinical depression after an awakening of non-dual? Yeah. Yeah, I think I've never had clinical depression myself. I've been very fortunate in that way. Obviously, there's been times in the life where there has been depression, or discomfort. But I've heard of it, and yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, I think anything is possible. Yeah, you know, there are people can still not have you know, can not have a sense of self, but still be an idiot. Yeah, why not? Why not? You know, be annoying or whatever. Yeah, sure. I think anything's possible. I always get depressed in clinics, says Q. Yeah, clinical depression sucks. I know people who have it. Yeah, I think it's possible. I think anything's possible. You know, having your arm chopped off is possible. I think it's possible. Having brain damage, you know, because there is no self anyway. There is no self. Clinical depression can happen, especially those kind of chemically ones. And it's not happening to the self, it's just happening. You know, it's very possible that, you know, I could have a head injury and become brain damaged and still have no sense of self. Because there is no self. It's an appearance. It's not something that, it's not somebody who dies. There wasn't a somebody here who died. It was just clear that there never was somebody, that it was just an appearance. It was just a mistake, a misunderstanding, a figment. I'm just going to close my window. 1 second. Yeah, so the sense of self is waiting to die. And it doesn't die. As a story, you could say that, but it doesn't. There's nobody to die. Nobody dies. There's no death in that sense. It's the end of death. That's my daughter. 1 second. I'm going to go because my daughter's back and she's on holiday with me. And yeah, a bit of an abrupt ending. But thank you very much for joining me. And I will be here same time next week. And if you have any questions, please feel free to message me. And yeah, thanks very much for joining. Lots of love. Bye.